What's up, people of the South? We are back with another video. The YouTube channel, it is called South African Late News, and the handle for this YouTube channel, it is at KZN_ZA. Yeah, the people that believe in Docket 636 have failed to fully explain why the mastermind has not been arrested. They normally tell me that Kelly Kumalo will be arrested at the end of this case, but I doubt that. For me, it's clear that Kelly Khumalo will not be arrested because the state has destroyed any case that may have existed against her. Plus, some of the evidence in the mastermind theory seems to be cooked. The so-called communication link between Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5, which is Fiso Ntuli, is very dodgy. It is dodgy because Colonel Steyn could not tell the court how was the communication made. Remember that in the current case where the 5 are charged, Colonel Steyn had to be recalled for the second time because his evidence was very confusing and questionable. So when Colonel Steyn returned to testify, he was more confused than ever. He could not tell us how the communication between Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5 was made. It was just found on a shaky ground. Steyn was asked how was the call made, but Steyn could not tell the court if the call was a Skype call or it was made via BlackBerry Messenger, or was it made by Facebook Messenger or any other app. He could not tell the court because he did not know. Instead, he said the call could have been made via WhatsApp video call. However, that shows that he's not sure about his own evidence, which is a sign of a poor witness that cannot be relied upon. Secondly, we all know that in October 2014, there was no WhatsApp video call facility. That is a fact. WhatsApp video call facility was only introduced in 2016. That is after Senzo Miyo was killed. So that is a fact that you can check, or that you can check on Google if you don't believe me. Then Senzo Miyo was only killed in October 2014. That is before the launch of the WhatsApp video call facility. So it is clear that accused number 5 and Kelly Khumalo could not have communicated via a WhatsApp video call. Secondly, it could not have been a BBM or a BlackBerry Messenger call, since accused number 5 did not own a BlackBerry phone in 2014. Remember that a BlackBerry video call was only done if both people had BlackBerry phone, because it was an app that was within BlackBerry. So if you owned a Nokia or Samsung, you could not use a BlackBerry at that time. That is a fact. Clear, straightforward. Fiso Ntuli's phone were confiscated by the police when he was arrested, and also another phone were told that it was taken in his cell when he was arrested, when he was serving his sentence in Karagabuhle prison. But none of those phones were BlackBerry phones. That is a fact. So it is therefore impossible for Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5 to have communicated with a BlackBerry or a BBM video call. That is a fact. So the state will not get a conviction if Kelly Khumalo is ever charged. The state simply failed to investigate Kelly Khumalo when the investigation began. That was when the crucial time was lost. Instead, the police were quick to arrest Mr. Zamuhle Mbatha, who is now suing the state for a wrongful arrest and defamation of character. And clearly he's going to win because there was no basis for his arrest. Then he will get millions and smile all the way to Capitec Bank or Absa, wherever he banks, because he's going to win this case. The state was wrong to arrest him. The state focused on a wrong person from the beginning. The same mistake they are doing now. They are focusing on the 5 accused innocent men. And then the so-called state expert received downloads from Vodacom in an Adobe reader format, but Steyn decided to convert the format to Excel format. And Kelly Khumalo will argue and say that is evidence tampering because the evidence is no longer in its original form. It's no longer on Adobe, it's now on Excel. And we all know that with Excel, you can edit information or add if you want. So that is something that is very dodgy. So the so-called communication link between Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5 seems to be fabricated on Excel. It was just added there on an Excel to make it appear as if Kelly Khumalo and Professor William Nduli spoke to each other. That's a fact. So the evidence by Colonel Steyn cannot be relied upon because it is questionable and he failed to answer key questions that were posed by Mshololo, Mnisi, and others. So Steyn did not help the state case in any way. And then there is a defense witness statement that is also very problematic for the defense, for the states if they decide to charge Kelly Khumalo. You'll remember that Mr. Hlophe, who is the brother-in-law of Senzo Meyiwa, his full name is Mlungisi Hlophe. He said he received a phone call from Tumelo Madlala shortly after the shooting, suggesting that Longotwala is the one that shot Senzo Meyiwa by mistake. That is a witness that is going to testify on behalf of the defense. It's very important. So Tumelo Madlala allegedly told Hlophe a different story that contradicts the mastermind theory. The court will likely believe Mr. Hlophe since he has no reason to lie and he has nothing to gain by putting Tumelo Madlala under the bus. So I don't really believe that Kelly Khumalo is a mastermind. Yes, I think she's guilty of lying because she did not tell the police who shot Senzo Meyiwa amongst the people that were in the house. Clear. She lied about that. So those are the charges that she needs to face one day, but I doubt because she seems like she's powerful. She seems like she's above the law. That is what I see. So based on Hlophe's statement, Senzo Meyiwa was shot mistakenly by one of those people that were in the house when he was trying to separate a fight between Zandi and Longwe. Then a gun went off. He was shot in the chest once, and then we know the rest. So the police failed to grill those people in the house when the investigation began. The people in the house had sufficient time to come up with this intruder story because the police did not grill them immediately or a few days later. They had time to think and come up with this lie that is before court. And then when Gininda took over the investigation, he did not call or question Kelly Khumalo simply because he said Kelly Khumalo is now a suspect, so I do not want to speak to her. That was wrong. Gininda should have called Kelly Khumalo and asked her to come to the station and get a second, a third, and a fourth statement. Doesn't matter how many statements that he would have obtained. Once he had obtained those different statements, then compare them and find contradictions. Then you'll be able to follow up an investigation based on those contradictions. Perhaps you would have been able to find evidence that would lead to the arrest of Kelly Khumalo. So if the state now decides to arrest Kelly Khumalo, she'll just say she was not given an opportunity to fully explain what happened to the police. That is a fair argument because it will show that the police did not do a proper investigation from the beginning. Gininda was going to have an opportunity to ask her about the picture of the money bag that was found on her cell phone downloads. Kelly Khumalo was then going to be forced to respond via a statement. and the police were going to investigate the content of that statement and catch Kelly Khumalo if she was telling any lies. But because Gininda did not question Kelly Khumalo, now she had plenty of time to come up with a story about the picture of Manabek. She'll probably tell a lie and say the picture of Manabek was in her phone because of blah 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 blah. I'm not sure what lie she's gonna tell, but she's gonna come up with the story now because she was not asked from the beginning. So in actual fact, Brigadier Gininda sabotaged his own investigation by not getting additional statements from all those people that were in the house who were suspect in docket 375. So Mr. Hlophe will be called as a witness to explain his telephone call with Tumelo Madlala, and his testimony will be in favor of Kelly Khumalo and the current accused that are before Judge Raja. Mr. Hlophe's statement contradicts the mastermind theory, which is a bad news for Baloyi. It does not fit into Baloyi's narrative. But then the key issue for me is that the 5 accused are all innocent. But the police had to use Kelly Khumalo as a mastermind in order to create a link between accused number 5 and Kelly Khumalo, because the accused are all charged in common purpose. But Kelly Khumalo won't be arrested anytime soon. Without that fake communication link that was mentioned by Colonel Steyn, there is no case. Gininda's narrative will fall away if the defense can debunk that call communication, because that is the crux of their case. They say accused number 5 was recruited by Kelly Khumalo to get the 4 other guys to kill Senzo Meyiwa. So in actual fact, accused number 5 was Umdidilwe Zinkabi. He was the one that was in charge. That was in charge of all the planning and also the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. So if there was no call or communication between accused number 5 and Kelly Khumalo, then the state cannot prove that Mr. Ntuli and Kelly Khumalo planned this killing. So the mastermind theory falls apart clearly. And Gininda has also made a mistake also by not questioning Longotwala extensively, because he could have gotten something there in Longotwala. But Gininda being Gininda, he did not do so. If the defense can debunk the mastermind theory and the link, then it's case over for Gininda. We can even forget about the DNA evidence, which said all 5 accused are excluded from the DNA sample that was taken from the house. We can forget that if they can debunk the call communication between 5 and Kelly Khumalo. But who knows what's going to happen. We can also forget that Gadla Mnqo's phone pinged in Johannesburg's CBD when Senzo Meyiwa was shot at about 7:30, because Gininda cannot prove that Mncube is the shooter if Mncube was in Johannesburg CBD and not in Voslo. Remember that Vosloorus and Johannesburg are far apart in terms of driving. If Mncube was in the Johannesburg CBD, he cannot drive like 5 minutes to Voslo. So that is another shaky ground for Gininda. But let's wait and see what will happen when the case resumes on the 14th of April this year. Thank you for watching.